Hey guys, it's Pip here. So today I want to talk to you about being in alignment and knowing what your goals are. So the reason I want to talk to you about this is, first of all, if you don't have a goal in life, if it's something, if you don't know what you want or where you're going, your roadmap is going to be pretty unclear. If you ever listen to any of the speakers, like motivational speakers, people like Tony Robbins or Les Brown, Deepak Chopra, they'll all tell you that you at least need to know where you're going and then work out the roadmap backwards from there. Kind of like having a sat nav. So you can plan your route. Now, I was listening to a guy called Jim Rohn a while ago. If you've not come across Jim Rohn, then he is somebody who has a lot of very fascinating speeches, very, very easily available to you on YouTube. Recommend you to have a look. But in one of his speeches, he says that some people don't do well in life because they spend major time on minor things. So if that's you, I just want you to either blink your eyes or raise your hand. If you're in public, just blink your eyes at me if you know what I'm talking about. Because one thing's for sure, I cannot tell you how guilty I am of doing this. I don't mean to do it in a bad way. It's usually because, we have things like just going on in our lives, don't we? Like you might have family things going on, you might have, somebody's birthday coming up, you might have an event at work. And so we're always trying to plan to be one step ahead of the game. But sometimes it means we take our eye off the ball of a long-term goal, and that's fine for a while. We all have to deal with things that come up. But if we take our eyes off the ball long enough, we let it roll away. And sometimes you might come back and think, I wonder what I was doing. Sometimes, people have years pass and they kind of have this wake up, if you like, and they sort of think, gosh, I forgot what I came here for, and now I remember, and now I feel really, really bad. So don't let that be you. So be serious enough about a plan, first of all, to see it through. Whatever you're thinking that you want, whatever that might be, is it something that you're really serious enough about to actually take action? Okay. Because again, if you watch any of Bob Proctor stuff, and you guys all know I love a bit of Bob Proctor, he is just fantastic in explaining that you are able to achieve absolutely anything. I mean, we come from a species that can put a man on the moon. You are very capable. We are actually all alike in that sense. We're all humans. We all have this ability to create. Now, you might believe that's true, you might not, but it is true. And if you've ever studied any successful people, you'll know that for sure, because a lot of people, Edison, say, anyone that you want to study, they've usually come from very humble beginnings. They usually didn't have schooling that we want. Edison, for example, he invented the light bulb. Now, he was actually sent home from school for being too stupid. His teachers thought he would never amount to very much. So there we go. So I think, you have to decide that this is going to be something that you're going to do for you. Now, think about where you are and know your strengths and weaknesses as next things, because knowing your strengths and weaknesses, and also knowing what a full, rich life means to you, some of it has to be money, guys. We live in a capitalist society. You and I are capitalists, whether we like it or not. The world works on the value of money, so being financially wealthy has to be part of the whole circle of wealth, if you like. But you might have different elements of that pie chart that are different to someone else. For example, you might be an introvert and you might not value having a lot of relationships. You might just want a few very small circles that you mix in, and you just might value the quality of the relationships rather than the quantity. So you might value peace of mind. You might value, you might not be ambitious. You might value just having time off, So if you go for the things that society wants you to go for, you might end up disappointed because one size does not fit all, and it might really squeeze the lifeblood out of you. And, people who have stopped dreaming or have settled might tell you you've got to stop dreaming as well. And it's implied that we have to settle down, you've got to settle on a vocation or a career, or it's got to be the right time to do whatever it is you want to do, or there isn't any time to experiment, you've got to be serious. And sometimes, life is all measured on grades and success, but actually success is not all about that. So just a little hint and tip for you there. So life success is actually on self-fulfillment. You've got to think, whatever struggles you've had, whatever struggles that you felt knocked you back, what did they show you about what you really wanted? Was it that you went to uni and it just wasn't for you? Was it that you started in a job and it was a job that you thought you should do because, that was your life path and your career path, but actually you found yourself spending too much time at the office and you didn't enjoy it as much as you thought you would, and that caused a few problems? Sometimes things do fall at the wayside. So, as I say, just have a think about what it is. What's your major thing that you want? It might take you a long, long time to figure this out. It's okay. Sit down and have a think about this. Things do change, people do change. It's okay to do a lot of writing and discarding of that writing. And it's okay to feel like you're a bit lost, you're a bit vulnerable, and you haven't dreamt and you're learning to dream again. That is actually okay. That is absolutely, absolutely fine. Okay. And sometimes you've got to get rid of all those optional extras. You've got to stop spreading yourself too thin. For me, I know it's made me unhappy. And it's meant that I'm putting other things in the way of things that I actually love. So you can do that as well. So anyway, that's all from me. I really, really hope that helps. And you take care. Bye-bye now.